words exactly. In the Morelos Mountains, campesinos are planting their fields, where the ghost dogs upon a ride to horse they can still outrun the wheel. High in the sky above and clear out of sight is the free Mexican Air Force flying tonight. Way up there in Kentucky, a cowgirl is cooling her heels, remembering that God gave us herbs and the fruits of the field. But a criminal law that makes outlaws of those seeking light make the free Mexican Air Force Mescalito riding his white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight, flying so high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How strange
An innocent herb causes money to burn.
they'll jail you or kill you for making those
Rich fat cats squirm.
But nothing can stop us, my vision is clearly in sight. And the free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. While we smoking colitas,
Federales are loading their guns.
blowing smoke from their six-shooters, spinning their barrels for fun. Contrabandistas, banditos of light, we're the free Mexican Air Force and we're flying tonight. And high in the hills we are harvesting sweet sensimilla. The law wants it all 'cause they think the wild we can free us. Freedom for us is a prison for the rulers of might. That's why the free Mexican Air Force, Mescalito riding his white horse. The free Mexican Air Force is flying tonight. Everybody
Flying so high.
Yeah, yeah, flying tonight. Ole!
Good evening. Bruce Gass. Boxing, jazz, and more. Happy birthday, Salvador Sanchez. Born on this day. 1958, I believe. But salute everybody that came in here, man. Salute my brother Al Money, man. Thank you for coming in, MP. What the fuck? Salute to you, brother. Derek Clark, man. Thank you, brother. Teach. Salute to you, man. I was I was reaching out to different fighters today, and excuse me, my wife is rudely interrupting my show here, bringing on this green dragon tincture that I whipped up a little while ago, and she thinks I want to show it to you, which maybe I kind of do. See, this is a little bit of it here. This is beautiful green color. This is tincture. This is the way I do my weed now. I'm doing a few tokes over here because I love that toka too, and I haven't had any tincture for a couple of days now. We made a nice big batch up this morning, and the old lady did her share, and she just brought in what we made up. We made about 2 ounces of tincture. It's got about let me think here. We used some very strong weed to make this, so we used about a 20 and a 25, so that's about a 22%. Hey Robert, how you doing, man? Nice to see you in here. So that's about 22 milligrams of reefer per cc of this tincture. It's going to be some strong kick-ass shit, and it's all indica. Very relaxing, very cool. But anyway, man, I want to do something in 1 second here. Something I haven't done here. Well, I guess I have, but not really on a show. I met this dude the other day. His name is Leon Mohammed. You can Google him. He's been in this game for a long time, longer than I have. And he's touched the body. He's managed eight world champions. It was definitely a sad day. And this man knew Salvador Sanchez. I'm gonna call him up and see if he can. You know, he's an OG like me. You know, we don't have the technical savvy that our grandchildren have. But I'm gonna try to get him on here. We're just gonna go through the phone lines. Oh, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. See, we're both victims of the 21st century here. Let me see if I can get him on here. I'm gonna shut the music off while I do this too.
Hello.
Leon.
Yes, my brother.
What's happening, my brother? I'm glad I got you on here, man. I'm going through the phone over here into the internet. I want to see if we got a good connection, man. How you doing tonight, my brother?
So get over the stroke and stuff. We're gonna take it one day at a time. You have to do you try to go on.
All right, man. Hey, can you guys hear Leon out there? We're going through the phone line over here, and it's a little different. We don't have our usual StreamYard line going here, but we're doing the best we can over here, man. Why don't you guys just give me a little yes if you can hear them? Leon, say a few things over here. Introduce yourself to these people if you can, please. Leon.
Yes, brother.
All right, man. Why don't you say a few words? Introduce yourself to these people. Let them know who you are.
The Country Boy. My book is called Ride the Dog, the Country Boy. I'm a Nigerian and South Carolina and Missouri Baptist Hall of Famer. I've been in this business 55 years and 84 world champion. With Ali for 30 years, Reverend Joe Michael Leon Spinks at Witherspoon. Prince Charles Lee, Couple Black and Bobby Chad. I look at Adam from over Duke. Of course, everybody knows Bobby Chad. And of course, the late Butch Lewis. Now I'm still around doing a little diving. Health is not good, but it's good to be here at 79 years old. So, your fans, young people can prayer. The Country Boy, the Hall of Fame.
Definitely, man. You managed 8 world champions. Am I correct?
Yeah, 18 world champions.
Wow, man, That's impressive stuff. Hey, we're here tonight to talk about the great Salvador Sanchez. It's his birthday today. Did you have any dealings with Sanchez?
Well, as I mentioned to you earlier, I got a, uh, I got a couple, and I was there when that African professor gave hell. That,
That was his
that was,
last fight.
that was, my mind said me that was on the card. I demanded David Moore, right? Remember Bruce?
Yeah.
Bruce. Wasn't that fight on the card of Duran and David Moore?
Yeah, Duran and Davey Moore. That was Duran's 32nd birthday when he came back and he won that junior middleweight title.
Yeah. When the Salvador Sanchez and Jimmy Russell on the card?
I don't think that was on the undercard. That was
I don't see at that time, Bruce, and to listen, that Don would bring a 13-year-old fighter into the guard and settle out. That was a sold-out fight. I just, at the stroke y'all, but I hope y'all can hear me. It's not that good, the medical reason. But I just don't know, Bruce, if that was a straight-up card by itself. The fight was in New York.
The Sanchez and the Azuma Nelson fight.
That was in New York, I believe. My mind's telling me, right?
Yep, that was at Madison Square Garden. That was on June 21st, July 21st, 1982.
I just don't see at that time Salvador could have gone and shut out that night. I just don't think this, in my opinion, but he rest in peace. Nice guy at the press conference. I'm assuming didn't have no bad ones. But I just don't think, and the bigger fighter he was, and may he rest in peace, I don't think that Salvador Sanchez at that time had the closer appeal that Duran, Lexus Aguirre, and had to come out to hands. I don't think he had. In my personal opinion. Great fighter. Legendary fighter. What is your opinion, Bruce?
Well, that's the fight we all wanted to see eventually. If Salvador Sanchez had lived, he was going to. I presume he was going to go up to 135 and fight Alexis Arguello, and that would have been an incredible fight. But the word was that Salvador Sanchez, he didn't want to stay in boxing all that long. He wanted to have 3 more fights, and he wanted to go to medical school. Did you ever hear anything about that, Leon?
A couple of times, Don told me the story. And he mentioned that. And we get certified to that effect. But I just, great fighter. I just, in my opinion, all these years, working with Robinson, all the big guys on the end of their career, Cassine, I with Johnny Buffett his whole career, late Johnny Buffett, Rocky Lobby.
Yeah.
I just think that he, when you go to war, you let an African take you to war, and you had 12, 13 fights. I just don't think what he would have done with Rocky, Calvin Grove, and them guys that was slick. I just don't know. All I can say is good for his era at the time he blessed to be on this earth. That's all I can say. I can't put against one point against him today because we fighting 250 today and we're two. I just don't even know whether he would have beat Mikey Garcia at 26. I just don't know what you think. Oh God, he can't have to do that. What you listen to?
I think we got to figure out a better way to get you on the show over here, because I'm having a tough time hearing you. Andrew Charles, salute out there. Lone Star State, how you doing, my brother? Hey, can you guys hear Leon okay? Because we're kind of
let me say this loud and clear again. I ain't got no problem with people except for your listeners. What I'm saying to you, boo, I just don't think Salvador, he was great for the era. I just don't think, I think the guys today would have been moving too much for him. Like Gary Russell, Mikey Garcia, and all them guys that did for it. I think they would have moved too much. Salvador was the type of guy he could have been. He wanted to stay in the pocket. That's why he has to talk to Bob and Bob Penny during the fight for the last 20-something years after being there at the fight. I just don't know. It's a big fight nowadays. Big fight for that era. I don't even fan out the guys of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I saw that. It's just too bad that we didn't see more of him because
Yes.
you know his career was cut so short, and the last 4 or 5 fights he had, those were difficult fights.
See, I don't know. He didn't fight Martinez.
What was that again, sir?
Did he fight Martinez?
Did he fight?
Did he fight Archibald Martinez a little back?
No, I let me see. He got Rocky Garcia, Pat Cordell, Gomez, Nico Perez.
Yes. Let me say something. You just, I'm telling y'all, you listen, Bruce is smart. He's the only guy that I knew remember the name of the guy that was champion in about 35 days, Pat Cordell. Bruce, remember, I didn't remember that name, Bruce. Pat Cordell.
Yeah, Pat Cordell. That was a close fight. That was the Englishman.
No, Irishman.
Irishman. Okay, yeah, an Irishman. That was a.
I just so when you get them tough, so when you had them tough fights at the end of your career, in your life, all you can do is put me as a great fighter at that time, that era. You can't get bad to say that we were blessed to be in the 80s and 90s, how you were done. I just think the 26 pounds, the 80s and 90s was too flat. What you think, bro?
Man, I don't know what to think. I just think that boxing today just doesn't stand up to what we saw in the past. That's why I like talking to you and to Miles the other day and to Anthony, because we saw the real deal. We saw the no bullshit fights. It was a whole different era. How many fights did you work with Don King?
You're right, dude. They don't make them today like yesterday. No. These guys today, what he said is like, what's the fight? That's crazy. Really did that. Telling you,
Yeah,
the
it's totally different. But what do you think of the fighters in this era? Why don't we get one heavyweight champion? I mean, I can't remember up until the last 20 years, the last 2 decades or so, that we couldn't settle who's the baddest man on the planet.
well, you know, it's economic. And the economic, see, the sense about is you got chicken legs for different works. The sense about it, if you got a fighter making 10, 15 million, you pay the sanctions fee for that title. So in the old days, we had a one time, one champion was being, the WBC, the move back in the day, we had good time. But you know, they had good time. Every time they had good time back then. But they put one of the
Mm-hmm. I'm having a terrible time with my phone right now. I'm getting it's all breaking up on me. I have a government phone too, and I guess they don't want to connect with each other here, man. So we're having a.
What I'm saying to you is that the fighters don't put the work in. You got to put the work in, right?
Definitely. Leon, I hate to do this, brother. I'm gonna have to cut this one short. I'm gonna have to get my communications department straightened out here. I'm gonna talk to you again tomorrow on the phone. We're gonna hook up on the phone again on the show. We're gonna do it again because I want to do it right so people can hear what we're saying. Okay, brother?
Okay, brother. Good night.
All right, man. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
All right, brother.
Peace. Guys, I'm sorry about that, man. I was trying to get the a little better communications going here. You know, I have the great Leon Mohammed on the phone, and he has a lot to say. A lot to say. I just have to get a little better communications, as you all know. My communications department is terrible here. Peter Von Ox, 7006 of murder, Andrew Charles, Lone Star State, man. 1,000 pardons for that, but you know, we aren't here to talk about the birthday of the great Salvador Sanchez. And man, I wanted to talk to Leon so much. Let me take that down because you know, once again, my terrible technological skills on this internet are bumming me out. So I want to apologize first of all to Leon because I really wanted to have him on here so you guys could talk to him. I talked to him the last couple of days a few times on the phone, and he's an OG, man. He's a real OG. You know, a lot of people call me the OG, man. No. Leon Robinson is an OG in boxing. A man who's managed 8 world champions. He just named them, but unfortunately my communication wasn't on there well enough to get it all through. So let's do a couple of bombs. I want to show you. See if I can find this fight here, man. This was the first time I was introduced to Salvador Sanchez. This was on, I believe, ABC's Wide World of Sports. And the man at the featherweight division back then was a cat named Danny Little Red Lopez. He was on TV all the time. He was knocking out everybody. Very popular fighter. He had a brother, Ernie Lopez, and this was Danny Little Red Lopez, born in Utah, from fighting out of California. He was an Indian. He wore the Indian headdress in there. Man, I feel so bad about Leon, man. We're gonna have to get our communicate. I'm gonna have to get him able to use the StreamYard so we can get on here and do a regular show, because that just wasn't working, man. I don't know. It was hell for me. I couldn't understand what the brother was saying, and it was awkward. But hey, this is YouTube. We'll get it down right. Yeah, you could take that away. Check my green dragon. See, I got another bottle here. I got this little. This is about 3/4 of a cup, and that's almost 2 cups. So it's going to be a high time. I'm waiting for it to kick in now. But anyway, let me bring up this fight here, man. This is my first introduction of Salvador Sanchez. And I'll tell you, I really didn't like Salvador Sanchez the first time I saw him, because I was a fan of Danny Little Red Lopez. This was February 2nd, 1980. I was hanging out in Warren, Bristol, Rhode Island area. This was a Wide World of Sports afternoon. We're going to see Danny Little Red Lopez come on and beat up another contender. And Little Red Lopez, one thing about him, man, he took the beating. He was a face-first fighter. He had a tremendous right hand. He was a lot like Deontay Wilder. He got hurt in fights, but with that right hand, the fight was over. But this is Danny Little Red Lopez and Salvador Sanchez. Let's get that. Let's get a little better screenshot there. This was a treat, man. See this fight, pay-per-view quality today. Just got a text. Let's see who's texting me. Johnny Boy mentioned me. I get these things on Discord a lot. I don't even know what Discord is really. I think I might have signed up for it once, but I guess I'm in a group there, so whatever. This internet age, man. You know, you click the button and you signed up for life. But anyway, man, we're watching Danny Little Red Lopez, Salvador Sanchez in February of 1980. I was living in the same place I'm living in now, but I was only living in there less than a year at the time. That's a long time ago. That's all right, man. Pigeon is no problem over here. Pigeon is a funny, humorous guy, and let him lurk in here. Who cares? Pigeon knows his boxing. Pigeon was the one who mentioned to me when I was speaking to him about Salvador Sanchez, and he mentioned the Pat Codell fight. How Pat is a hero. You know, Pat Codell. I thought he was from England. I guess he's from Ireland. I think our brother Leon just mentioned that. Let me take a quick look here. Let me take a quick look and see where he's from. United Kingdom, Whalley, West Midlands, United Kingdom. I guess West Midlands is a state there, but that's where Pat Codell's from, and that fight with Salvador Sanchez brought him fame, man. He went on and won the European Featherweight title. Had fights with Roberto Castanon, Kelvin Seabrooks, Azuma Nelson. So, Pat Codell, interesting character at featherweights. The thing about Salvador Sanchez, he never got to fight the caliber of fighters that we wanted to see him fight. See, his plan was, and from what let me see if I can get this right here. I'm supposed to get these tabs on YouTube. This is I'm bad technologically over here, my friends. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for here. StreamYard's always changing up on me. They're changing up constantly. And we want to keep this fight on here. Because like I said, this was the I was telling all my G's, I said, you watch Danny Little Red Lopez. He might get knocked down, he might get punched up, he might get a broken nose, but he's got a right hander like Ernie Shavers. He's gonna come back and he's gonna knock this kid out. And I'm watching the fight and I'm watching Danny just get hit with these punches, body, head combinations, and he's not connecting with that big right hand. And when he does, Salvador Sanchez is just shaking his head, biting down on his mouthpiece and coming back for more. Hey, that one guy bone. Excuse me. See, I've been sticking with the tincture. I haven't been hitting the toker all that much now. And you can see why. The smoke. Always have your fire extinguisher, your big glass of water nearby, your bottle, whatever, man. Stay hydrated. But this was my introduction to Salvador Sanchez. Get my other screen up here. See if I can find what I wanted to find in here. There was an article I read today. Let's see if I can pull it up so I can quote to it. But so I can say the accurate things here. Okay. Yeah, here it is, man. This is the article I was looking for. That music's not too loud, is it? I want to just keep it low and in the background. But yeah, man. The day Salvador Sanchez died, it was in 1982. February, I think. I'm not quite sure of the exact day. Easy to find out, man. August 12th. And, you know, it's one of those things where you hear about it and you just don't quite believe it. Drove his Porsche into two trucks, man. Killed in a collision. Really tragic stuff. 23 years old. And he's got a career that's really built on what ifs. What if he didn't die in the car crash? What if he had survived? Who was next on his line? Well, he was training for a fight with Juan Laporte. And that was a rematch. He had already fought Laporte to a tough 15-round decision. And now he's going to fight Laporte again. And then plans were for Alexis to move up to 135 and fight, move up to 135 and fight Alexis Arguello. Yeah, man. This was the beginning of something special. But didn't realize we were going to see a lot more of Salvador Sanchez after this. You know, this was his first world title for the WBC belt, and I mean he just slowly butchers Danny Little Red Lopez, counter punches, just steps back, stands out of the way of that big right hand. That one guy, Bones, how you doing out there, my brother? Any of you guys remember Danny Little Red Lopez when he fought Salvador Sanchez? You know, today would be Salvador Sanchez. Let's see, he was born in 1958, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm almost sure it was 58. I mean, I should know. But I'm so bad with times, especially when I'm smoking the weed, which is all the time anyway. But yeah, 1959. So 69. Salvador Sanchez would have been, 57 today? Man, and it seems like he's been gone for a long time. But look at him with Danny Little Red Lopez in the corner. Just not letting Lopez out of that corner. Body and head. I mean, just using his head like a speed bag. He's going downstairs. Danny Little Red Lopez is a tough kid. Made 6 title defenses on television. Was fighting everybody, was on a lot of the undercards, the Ali undercards, I saw him on the Ken Norton and Dwayne Bobbitt fight, man. You know, they used to put a lot of fights on prime time. It wasn't like today. Somebody was asking me the other day, what fight do you want to see more? Let me see if I can think of the fights that they were asking me. One was the Benavides and Plant fight. And the other one was Beterbiev and Yard. And what was the third fight, one that's coming up? Stanionis and Ortiz. And my answer was, you know, back in the day, these fights would all be on the same card. You know, Don King didn't mess around. He didn't wait around for dates and contracts and injuries. And he put them all together. You know, these were premium cards, charge a premium dollar, whatever, man. But they were worth it. It was nothing like today, man. You know, and fighters that we didn't know that much about that weren't prime timers. But see, these guys, by today's standards, pay-per-view fighters. But back in the day, hey, Q the God, how you doing, my brother? You know, back in the day, these guys were Saturday afternoon fighters. And the fight that they were aiming for here was Salvador Sanchez to move up to lightweight and fight Alexis Arguello. That was talked about back in the day. It never came to fruition, obviously, because of the death of Arguello, the death of Sanchez, and Arguello went the other way. He went up and he had that historic fight with Aaron Pryor that we all talk about till this day. I'm waiting for that tincture to kick in, man. Hasn't kicked in yet. When did I take it? I took it just about when I started doing this show, about 8 o'clock. And it's about 40 minutes. Doing a few bongs of this Sour Patch right now. In memory of my brother Salvador Sanchez. He's 67 today, right? Let's get that right, man. I'm a terrible mathematician when I have cameras on me. When I'm in the corner, I can do them all right. But let's go here and get the actual his birthday. 64 years old today. Damn, by today's standards, he'll still get a few exhibitions in there. But man, and it seems like been gone for a long time. Look at him, he's coming out of those clinches, banging a left hook, throwing the overhand right, snapping his head back with a jab. I mean, Salvador Sanchez, fluid motion, just a fluid boxing machine. I mean, he had that style that you don't see. You only see it with today's style, with the real blue chip stars, the Sugar Ray Leonards. You know, you look at the fighters today, and you see little shines of greatness, but you don't see it like with Sanchez. We saw it fight after fight, and these fighters, he fought some of these fighters who are ready to go to the trenches with him. I mean, look at his fight with Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson's 14th fight lasted until the 15th round. Look at that beautiful overhand right by Sanchez. Whew. I mean, great stuff here. I appreciate anybody that's coming in here, man. Watching some classic boxing on the 64th birthday of the late, excuse me, little indigestion. Hey Nando, brother, how you doing, man? And Sanchez, I mean, beautiful footwork. Look at him go side to side, keeping that guard high, man. He just doesn't neglect the body. Great fighter. Oh, look at that left hook, man. I mean, oh, and the right hand, the left hook. He's just doing a job on Little Red Lopez. And like I said earlier, Danny Little Red Lopez was a great featherweight back in the day. In the late 70s, the early 80s. The fight people wanted to see, they wanted to see Danny Little Red Lopez in these fights. They were mentioning him with Aguayo. They were mentioning him with Subido Pedrosa. You know, some of the great fighters between featherweight and lightweight. But then all of a sudden, this kid from Mexico comes along. And man, we never heard the last of him until the day that he died. Fought constantly. Fought the best featherweights out there. Oh, look at, unbelievable hand speed. Just a naturally talented boxer. Perpetual motion. You know, like those Rolexes, bro. He's not off by a tick. Yeah, Danny Little Red Lopez. You know, the thing is, Nando, I've seen him on his ass, and he gets up, and he always got up and he won. Who was it who knocked him down? Mike Ayala, I think. Well, he got knocked down a few times. Right now, the names aren't coming to me, but he got up. David Poison Cote, I think, knocked him down. Oh, man. Sanchez, just beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I think he was 22 years old here. And Lopez does not stop trying at all. Just coming forward, waiting to land that big, huge right hand that he has that would end all these wars one punch. That's the end of no, I guess he's going to have the doctor take a look at him. Yeah, that face is busted up pretty good, man. Is that Stanley Christodoulou as a referee? I don't know, man. Let me see if I can find out here. Let's see here, man. Vladimir Schmidt. I always get him mistaken with Stanley Christodoulou. But yeah, Vladimir Schmidt. Oh man, look at I think Lopez. I think Salvador Sanchez. Lopez is desperate. First of all, he knows the referee told him one more round. The doctor one more round, and the thing about Salvador Sanchez, when you got in the trenches with Sanchez, Sanchez is in the trenches with you. Lopez trying to drop that big right hand that he's famous for. Look at man, but he's just not. He can't get his feet planted. Sanchez is just too much. That face is a mess. Here we go, man. What is this, man? Round 7. Wow. And this fight goes, I believe, on to 13 rounds. So we're going to see a surge in that work here, man. We're going to see Salvador Sanchez just taking apart Danny Little Red Lopez. Peter Von Ox, my brother. Salute. Happy birthday, Danny Little Red. Why am I saying that? Happy birthday, Salvador Sanchez. See, I can't separate. I got this. I need I need to be able to separate my the two fighters. When I see them both together, I'm seeing them as one over here. Listening to a little jazzy blues in the background over here, man. And happy birthday, Salvador Sanchez, bro. Imagine the career that he would have had. You know what the word was? He was going to retire young, go to medical school. He wanted to become a doctor. That was the word, man, back in the day. And I was doing some reading today before I came on here, and I found a sentence or two to mention that too, just to make sure I wasn't nuts. There's a lot of these. Oh man, look at Lopez, man, tough. Oh, but Sanchez just sends him back on his heels with that left hook, check left hook, catches him coming in, man. Oh man, this is great stuff. Lopez just banged the right hand off of Sanchez's head. That's the thing about Sanchez. I've never seen him knocked down, never seen him visibly injured in a fight. Just had that unchangeable expression, very stoic. Complete stranger online, bro. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming by, man. We're here to wish the great Salvador Sanchez his happy heavenly birthday. 64 years old he would have been if he had survived, but he made that transition violently long time ago. He crashed his Porsche into 2 trucks, and oh man, the guy was a 23-year-old crazy man. He was out looking for pussy in training camp, bro. That was the word. And instead, the end of a legend, a legend to be. Look at Lopez is all busted up, and we haven't seen a headbutt in there. That's those left hooks. And these guys, they didn't wait long to have a rematch, man. They did not wait long at all. Oh, man, oh man, oh man. Salvador Sanchez, was he not something special? Punchy, how you doing, my brother? End of was that the 8th round? And they're going to try to close that face up, get him out there, and he still goes. He still goes another 4 rounds, 5 rounds. Man, this is crazy ass shit here, man. Danny Little Red Lopez, I think that's his brother Ernie, doing his training work there. That's correct, brother. He fought Ruben Castillo. Ruben Castillo, 44-1 at the time, and then the rematch with Lopez, and then we saw him kind of go through the featherweight, the top featherweight contenders at the time, and then we saw that great fight, man, that showdown with Wilfredo Gomez, the Battle of the Bands. Oh yeah, man, Peter Von Ox. Fucking rugged as they come, for sure, brother. Yeah, man, I've got to get this phone. I've got to get something hooked up where I can get, you know how these, a lot of these guys who do shows, they can take phone calls. I can't do that holding the phone next to the receiver. I found that out today. Especially when I guess when you got a, I don't know, man. We just kept fading in and out and crackling. It just was not good. I gotta talk to my G's. They're gonna come by probably tomorrow or the next day because my buddy's wife passed away a week ago, and you know, man, he needs some healing, dealing, and feeling time to do. And then I guess you know he come back. He's a strong kid, and man, those guys come back and they'll fix all my computer, my phone problems. Like bing, 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 done. I'm back on the air 100% because right now, man, I'm working on a wing and a prayer. I rig them and they get half of my stuff over here, and like like you saw, I tried to talk to Leon a little while ago, and man, I'm gonna call him up tomorrow and I'm gonna say, bro, you know what went wrong here, man, but he's a brother. I know I love that man. I've only known him for a week or so, and he's the real deal. You know, Google Leon Mohammed and see about some of his accomplishments, some of the things he's done. There's many interviews with him out there. I mean, this dude is the real deal. It's an honor for me to know him, to call him my friend. Oh, you know, for him to know who I am when I talk to him. And man, and this guy right now he's in a tough way. You know, he's living in a government subsidized medical facility. He's got diabetes. He doesn't, you know, he's a Muslim and they have pork and he doesn't eat pork. He'll go hungry and he's got to do insulin, and you need to eat carbohydrates when you do insulin, and you have to create a spike in your pancreas. But you know, shout out to my brother. He's almost 90 years old. He's been everywhere in the trenches. We're gonna get him on here to talk, and we're gonna get some mind blowing. I talked to him on the phone, and I just listened, and he. Oh, how about you, Bruce? What do you say? And then I gotta start saying something to keep him going. But I just love to hear his stories, man. Because man, you know, Leon Mohammed was behind the scenes with Don King, and he mentioned the fighters here. I just couldn't. The phone wasn't picking them all up well enough. You got that right, Peter Von Ox. So, but anyway, man, we're gonna get that straightened up. I know on Coach Malachi's show, and you can call in on, and the OG has it too, and 86 Boxing. You know, and you can just call in those shows, and it comes in beautiful. It sounds great. Hey, Teddy, how you doing, my brother? The greatest Mexican fighter, arguably. A lot of them in there, man. But he was the, I call him the what if. 23 years old. Most of these cats today, man, they haven't had 8 fights. They haven't had any, dude, the caliber of his opposition. He just fought the best out there. That's simple. We wanted to get a fight with Pedroza. Didn't happen. But everybody else out there. And he was going to fight a rematch with Juan Laporte. That's what he was training for before his ultimate untimely death. But yeah, oh man. But you got to give Danny Lopez a lot of credit. This fight could have been stopped any time before this, but Danny Little Red Lopez knows the value of his title. You know, I was watching the Atlantic City Hall of Fame last year, which is, I want to go to that this year. Leon's a member of that. He'll be there. And I was watching, my buddies were down there and they were filming it. And Little Red Lopez was there, man. And I'm like, oh, unfortunately right now he's got severe dementia. He can't give interviews or anything like that. But he made the appearance. They brought him down there. And man, it was just good to see him. And a lot of people, a lot of them, the cats that I knew, they didn't know who he was at first. I'm like, oh, that's shit. Not the boxing people, just the YouTube people. How's that? You get some water here. I'm feeling like sandpaper here, doing all the talking. I right now am smoking on some Sour Patch. My tincture's kicking in right now too. I don't think I'll need any more of this smoke. But yeah, man, I made some awesome tincture today. I used cherry diesel and I used wedding cake. So it averages at 22% THC per milliliter. Oh, this screen just went out. Get it back on here. Get it back on here. You gotta always make sure you have some action on these screens. I have a pretty good setup going on here. I have 3 screens in front of me, so don't lose anything. Can go look up something on BoxRec if I have to. Go grab an article, whatever it may be. But you know, to do these shows efficiently, you gotta have something more than a phone. I found out. So I got my laptop and my tabletop and another screen set up here. So we try to give you the best we can. But see, right now I would have. Do I have it here, man? Maybe I. No. No. See, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get my tabs up here, but unfortunately, I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. Kansas legal HCC. What's HCC stuff? Wedding cake, yeah. This wedding cake is really nice. I only smoked a little bit of it. I threw it all in the tincture because, man, I love making that tincture, bro. I'm hooked on that. My wife is my partner in that. She's just washed out our magical butter maker, our tincture maker, and we have enough. If I don't give any of it away, and that's my problem, man. You know, people come over and I give them a little bit. We probably have enough for 2 weeks. Because we both do about, she does a little less than I do. I do about, let's see, about 15 cc's a day. So what's 15 cc's in the ounce? Let me ask my government phone here. How many cc's in an ounce? How many cc's in an ounce?
1 fluid ounce is equivalent to 29.574 cubic centimeters.
Okay.
To convert from fluid ounces to cubic centimeters, multiply units of volume by
We get you. Thank you. But that's 29 cc's to an ounce. So I have 16 ounces. Make that 30. So that's a lot of cc's in there. But you get my drift. And I figured out the percentage of THC per cc. Let me get that again here. It's like THC but from hemp. You have to take the cannabinoids out and add another hydrogen molecule and then yeah, a lot of these guys, they're real hip chemists. I noticed that. I see the Delta 9s, the Delta 8s. I don't know what that shit is. I'm an old cowboy, bro. But hey, if it works, and if you're a smoker, like right now, I know I'm fucking THC blasted to the max. If you get a chance to try Death Strain, it's probably the best strain I've had. You can only find crossbreeds like Death Bubba or Pink Death, all great indicas. Exotic Death Strain. We'll check that one out. We'll have a break between fights, Teddy. If you're here, bro, we'll look that up on Leafy. Hey, Joe Lopez, how you doing, my brother? I stick to the buds, bro, but what I do is, man, I make this tincture, and I love this fucking tincture. But it's made from buds, it's made from choice buds, and plus my grower friend there, he'll give me the cuttings of it. And I look at those cuttings, it's just nothing but small buds in the bag, little BB-sized buds. And I brew those up, very high THC. I got to get a tester, because right now I'm going by what the strain is and what they tell me to test that, and then I'll go cross check it on Leafy.com or some internet site. But this Cherry Diesel is new to hit the scene, and these guys are professionals, bro. This is they are so proud of their stuff. This is Cherry Diesel. They get these seeds from a convention. But anyway, man, it checks out at 24% THC, and the wedding cake checks out, I believe, at 20. I'm not quite sure. We'll look at that after too, because I like knowing the percentage of THC I put in my body, especially I'm doing it orally now. So, baby, I stick with the bud, but I infuse the bud with grain alcohol, brew that for 8 hours at 180 degrees, or it's 130, I'm not sure. I think it's 180. And that cooks for 8 hours, and it blends every 10 minutes or so. Very, very interesting machine this contraption is that I have. But been making this Green Dragon tincture, and this strain, I think this strain right now, because it's creeping like a motherfucker, I think this might be the best one yet. Oh, look at Little Red Lopez just getting his head punched off. Salvador Sanchez mercilessly just destroying the legend of Danny Little Red Lopez. Man, this is like, this is killer stuff, and this is a kid who would have been 64 years old today, died in 1982. Did I see World Combat Sports in there? My brother, shout out to you, man. Peace, my man. I appreciate you coming in here, man. Give a thumbs up for the life of the late, great Salvador Sanchez. He was a great featherweight, bro. I saw this kid. This is the first time I saw him in this fight. And nobody did this to Danny Little Red Lopez. Lopez came back. Lopez came back and knocked you out, bro. Danny Little Red Lopez was the Deontay Wilder of the late 70s, bro. He was he had a right hand that was taking everybody out. Go back and watch a few Danny Little Red Lopez fights, and you'll see what I mean, bro. He was truly a knockout puncher. That shatter, man, you got a point there, and I've seen him do the dabs and the concentrate like I make now. I guess it's a whole different century now, and it all depends on if you like smoking. But see, the thing is, bro, I want to stop smoking because it irritates my throat, my esophagus, and I've got some friends of mine, man, some dudes that are not even as old as I am, and they have these fibrosis problems with their lungs from smoking so much. I don't know if it's from smoking so much. Some say it's not. Some say it's hereditary. Blah 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 blah. All I know is when I started making this tincture, which was about over a month ago, and I cut my smoking way back, almost a mil. The past couple of days, I've been doing it again. I had because it's expensive to make the tincture. And we give it a break because it was diminished returns. We weren't getting the buzz from the amount that we were smoking. So we put it down for a few days, and I started smoking again, and I can feel the congestion from the smoke. So that'll be put away too for a while. You can see this bong looks like it's brand new, man. It's like you can only see it on my little side thing here because we're watching a great fight here, man. See, I get carried away. I start talking about other things because we are Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. We keep a little jazz going in the background. We got our boxing on the big screen and more. Staying healthy and fine weed up two of those topics in there. So make sure you're getting a lot of water in your body right about now. And if you're into the fine weed, you're in the right place, man. Boxing and weed, that's what I'm all about. And we're in here on the 64th, what would have been the 64th birthday of the great Salvador Sanchez. I mean, this guy was the Mexican assassin. This was the. I'm gonna put another fight up in a little bit, man. Cause yeah, what the hell, man? This is just this is his birthday. Always with that left hook when he comes out of the combination, when he comes out of a. Lopez is trying to clinch. Oh, look at that right hand and ends with the left hook. Lopez, I think was thinking about going down. I think if he wasn't so hard nosed and look at he's getting tagged and he's going back to the ropes and he's getting blitzed and the referee's coming in there and that's it. Fight's over. Danny Little Red Lopez, no complaints, and Sanchez just won his first world title. He's very, very happy, to say the least, man. Take that off there. Great stuff. Danny Little Red Lopez, he was never quite the same after that. But Salvador Sanchez, this was just the beginning of his rise. He had a great fight. Let me pull this one up too, man. I don't even know if I'll go for the. Yeah, what the heck, man? This is what, Thursday night. There you go, Peter. That's why I do my my tincture, bro, because it's the smoking was. I was getting indigestion from it, and I knew it was a smoke, so I started to eliminate things from my diet that I thought were causing the indigestion, the heartburn, and the smoke eventually. Because see, I you know, of course we're gonna go online, we're gonna get a lot of information, and it said tobacco smoking, so I said, I only smoke weed, so that doesn't affect me, but yes, it does. Let me see if I can find this Sanchez and yeah, because we can't adequately honor the legendary Salvador Sanchez without showing this fight, man. See if we can pull it up there. That's the beauty about this. And maybe I won't be able to do this forever, but being such a small channel, I can get away with this now. So we'll watch this fantastic fight. Let's pull it up here, man. This was rolling with the punches, my brother. They call this the Battle of the Bands. Some of the greatest Mexican. There was a Mexican band against a salsa band. Puerto Rico against Mexico. Wilfredo Gomez. Let me he was 32-0-1. I believe he had 31 knockouts. I can't see exactly on here. But undefeated, favorite of this fight. This was a big Don King fight. And you know the thing about, you hear a lot about fights where they don't want to put two pay-per-view fights on too close to each other. I was at this fight, man. Not ringside, but I was watching it on my buddy on his pay-per-view. This is one of the fights I couldn't get it with the black box because it wasn't coming in through the cable system yet. They didn't have that pay-per-view capability set up yet. But they had it through this one service. I think it was called it wasn't Showtime. But anyway, it was this thing. It came over the air. Oh, there goes There goes Wilfredo Gomez down already in the first round, a feeling out process, as they call it. Good for you, Rolly. You got to be careful with those edibles. You got to know how much you're doing. I don't know, man. It's an individual choice, like anything else. But somebody was mentioning out there, like, you're right, bro. They got so many different contraptions now. They're trying to make it into crack, making that shatter. People are burning their houses down back in the day before, to make that. But hey, I like that stuff. I like that pure THC without any of the byproducts, the combustibles, the carcinogenic things that you have to burn and take into your lungs. But I like a THC buzz. It gives me a clear head. I can go before a judge after I smoke a joint, as long as I get a little mouthwash in me. Man, weed is something that I control. I know people who cannot smoke weed because weed is, it fucks me all up. That's when weed is too strong for you. But you have to be stronger than the weed. See, that's the key. Like the blues here. You can't lose to the blues. You just keep on moving. Keep on grooving. Wilfredo Gomez is trying to do it, bro. It could make me dizzy, man. It would all depend on my frame of mind. But see, the way weed is now, you can kind of be like a semi connoisseur and break it down into the different strains, what they do to you. Because I noticed like some of these sativa strains, it's almost like an unpleasant high, unless you mix it with an indica, with a strong indica. And I can see how that would give me like maybe a little headache at different times. If I had a slight headache, it might make it more intense. This is pretty good music. You can play free stuff here. All my YouTube competitors out there, man. It's available. I noticed everybody's putting music in the background now. So anyway, I can really do a show. And I know the way they got it set up here, man, the noise cancellation. It might even be on right now. Let me check and make sure it's not on. Make sure that you are listening to my background music. No, it's off now. It's cool. I got all these things at my control here. But man, look at Salvador Sanchez. He's just taking Wilfredo Gomez slowly apart. But Wilfredo the Bazooka Gomez is not giving up, man. He breaks his orbital in this fight, cheekbone or orbital. I can't recall which bone, but he's got a fracture of something in his face. I believe it's on the right hand side. I believe it's from those left hooks. You'll see after the fight what that face looks like, and you'll see what that cheek and that eye. Devastating stuff. One hit of, it takes me a little more than that, Rolly. It takes me, with good weed, probably 5 or 6 on the Toka 2. Maybe 4. But now with the dabs, 3. So it really all depends. And some stuff gets you higher than other stuff. It depends on the THC count in it. There are different degrees to stoned. I'm getting kind of baked right now, having this all indica tincture that I did, and then doing a few tokes of this. The Sour Patch. I always have a hard name not recalling these different strains. Wilfredo Gomez is trying to corner Sanchez. Landed a few good punches in there too. But man, when you're fighting the best in the division, and this is a junior featherweight, Wilfredo Gomez was not a full-fledged featherweight at this time. He was coming up from another division. He's trying to win another title. And when Salvador Sanchez does leave, Wilfredo Gomez he comes up and he does win that WBC featherweight strap. In fact, he wins the a junior lightweight title too. So Wilfredo Gomez does not get discouraged by a beating. No, it was earlier than that. I think it was 1982, 81. This was just before, like I said earlier, people don't want to put pay-per-views too close to each other. This was in 1981. This was in August 21st. 3 weeks later, September, whenever it was, the fight was Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns. So I went to my dude's house, and he had both of these fights. We had to get the money up. No black box worked back then. This service was, like I said, it was an over-the-air service. It came through a box too, and you had to call up and you had to order the fight. It went on your bill. What the hell was the name of this song? Was it Encore? But anyway, they had movies, 3 movies a night. That's it, man. You paid, I think it was $19.95 a month for it. You still see the antennas because they had a weird, like an upside-down L-shaped antenna they put on houses. And you still see them. You still see maybe 1 in every 100 houses from way back in the day. Preview, that's what it was called. I knew it would come to me. See, look, and look at Wilfredo Gomez. He's digging down. He's trying to fight back. He is trying to beat the elusive and the hard punching, perpetual motion. Carlos Padilla, your referee. This is at Caesar's Palace, man. You know, when you put 83, I remembered because I wasn't married in 81. I was married in 83, and I said no, because this was with the boys. And my ex-wife, she wasn't really into that. She would have wanted to tag along, and fuck that. I think we went out to dinner before this fight. And see, people in the restaurants and stuff, they knew Salvador Sanchez. They knew Wilfredo Gomez and Salvador Sanchez. Today, you'd have to be a diehard boxing fan to know that the featherweight title was on the line against the undefeated knockout artist, Wilfredo Gomez. But this was big, and it was big to not only just boxing, but people outside boxing knew about this too. That's the difference in boxing today and boxing then. You know, when Salvador Sanchez died, everybody knew about it. You know, and you went in the bars, and people who weren't even boxing fans, they had heard about it because it was mentioned on the nightly news. There was no ESPN in my neighborhoods back then, but like I said, the nightly news, they cut in and they mentioned boxing great, young boxing rising star. 23 years old. How old is Shakur, Devin Haney? How many? This is accomplishment right here, man. You go look back at his activity too, man. This is in 1981. He had 4 fights in 1981. That included 43-1 Roberto Castanon, 49-3 Nico Perez, 32-0 Wilfredo Gomez, and then he had that split decision with Pat Codell that we talked about. I mean, dude, this is not a guy who sat around and waited and fought once a year. You know, that's why we knew who Salvador Sanchez was, because, bro, he was in our living room when he fought Pat Codell. I believe that was, I think that was HBO. I would have to check, but I believe it was HBO. Here we go, man. Wilfredo Gomez is still coming on strong. He's still trying to show a little superiority here. And we're watching, man. We're watching one of the greatest on what would be his 64th birthday. Happy birthday, champ. Hey, McSmith, how you doing, bro? He looks like he's really zeroing in on the kill here. He knows he's got Wilfredo bashed. He knows he's got some broken bones in that face. And Sanchez, he showed no mercy. When he had you hurt, he was a hawk. He was that rare breed. You could see it in his eye. How you feel about him, McSmith? You a fan of Salvador Sanchez? I know you're very opinionated. I just want to ask you what you think about him. Right about in your weight class too, McSmith. Can you imagine getting in the ring with one of these two guys? Whew. Hanging in there, my brother. Oh, Wilfredo Gomez is trying, and he's got him in the corner, going downstairs, going upstairs. But Sanchez, he just absorbs those punches, acts like there's nothing behind him. This is a guy who's knocked out everybody who's been in the ring with. Maybe one or two survived it. He's got a nice little defense. Carlos Padilla breaks him up. Their fight's going to continue once again. And here we go, man. What round is this? Is it going to, did it say already on the bottom? Did I miss it? This is the outdoor arena at Caesar's Palace. The next fight coming to this arena is Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns 3 weeks later. And did fans complain about having two pay-per-views so close together? Ha! We were begging for one more. Oh, and look at Wilfredo Gomez got a nice little left hook in there. He showed Salvador Sanchez he is still in this fight. But Sanchez is coming forward. I hear you, McSmith. I didn't like him because he beat up Danny Little Red Lopez, but after this fight, I just respect the hell out of him because I didn't like Gomez either. You know, I was a little more fanboyish back then. Now, I actually have no connection anymore emotionally towards any fighters. But I had him back then. Look at it, toe-to-toe action. Look at this shit, man. Gomez pushing him off with a forearm. Wanted to throw that right hand bomb, but I don't know why he didn't, man. Maybe he's a little wary of what's gonna come as a counterpunch. But as we can see, Wilfredo Gomez is trying desperately to land something big. He doesn't get it. Everybody else I hit, they fall down. And he was an arrogant bastard too, man. I've seen him spit on fallen opponents. He was this is why I didn't like him, but you can't deny his tenacity, his power. And this was an incredible. Look at that right eye is fucking closed down to a slit. He just never looked the same when he was on the defense. You know, Wilfredo Gomez was just always aggressive looking, angry snare in his face. The way he looks real sorry, all busted up and getting knocked back on his heels. I mean, Salvador Sanchez is just really in charge of this fight. And he was the underdog in this fight. The Las Vegas betting odds had him as the underdog. And he just slips to counter punches, goes back, fucking combination. This looks like the referee, I think they stop it very soon, man. See, when did they stop this? They stopped this fight in the 8th round. Was it a TKO? Yep, so that was the 7th round. He comes out there for a little more beating. Look at that, man. They're going to let him go out there. Did Daniel Dubois go out there for a little more beating? I mean, this is... Miss Sister Haradu, sister. Salute, man. I appreciate you coming in here. I appreciate it. I love you too, my sister. Thank you for coming in. If you see Taharadu, tell Just Do Boxing that in fact he might have been here earlier today. I can't remember anything, but shout out to you and Just Do. Keep it boxing, keep it real, man. You guys are doing it out there, and so I'm trying to do it myself over here. This is little impromptu show for the to celebrate the birthday of Salvador Sanchez, and just try to anybody who didn't see him, you can kick back and listen. Anybody who has seen him, shoot your comments away, questions, whatever you want, man. You know, I'm not gonna say that I'm a Salvador Sanchez historian, but I did watch his entire rise and fall. I watched that shooting star go down hard and fast, and man, I saw every one of his fights that were visible on the telly, and he was something to see, bro. He was something to see. I might do one more on this Toka 2 here, because this is Thursday night and tomorrow's Friday. That's the beginning of a weekend. Last week, I think it was Friday the 13th, wasn't it? Or was that 2 weeks ago? I can't even remember anymore. They come so fast. But another weekend is upon us. Another fight weekend. Who's fighting this weekend? We'll go look at it in a sec. We got one big fight on this weekend. Is it the Bivol fight? I mean the Baturbiev and Yard fight. Is that what we're catching on Saturday? I believe it is, man. And you know what I mean? I did that Don King card last Saturday night, and I got over 1,100 fucking views on that. That's cool, man. That makes you feel like you're doing something out here. You know, I don't know if people thought they were going to watch it for free on here or what, if I was going to have a live stream, because I noticed a lot of guys put no live audio only, no live feed. I just put the Don King card, so maybe I got a lot of trolls that came in and thought they were going to see it and it still counted as a view, but I appreciated it anyway, man. I was on there for 5.5 hours. Tim Witherspoon came on with me. Who the hell else came on with me? I don't want to leave whoever came on there out, because I don't think Mad Chad was on there with me. I can't remember, and whoever it was, man, I'm sorry if I left you out. But you know, it's just a gray matter that's getting a little more fried by the Toka 2, by the CC of Green Dragon. And over here, man, this is going to be the last stand of Wilfredo Gomez in this fight, man. Salvador Sanchez is drawing him into the corner. He's playing cat and mouse. I guess you guys call it playing with their food. You're gonna let it go on for another round, maybe caught his breath a little. The WBC Super Bantamweight champ against the WBC Featherweight champ. See, these are fights we like to see, man. These are... The world was watching, you know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, the Mac Mob, salute my brother. Welcome in here on the birthday of Salvador Sanchez. Would have been 64 years old today had he survived. We're honoring the brother with a couple of his highlight fights over here. I had the pleasure to be kicking back, watching these fights, man. And this was This fight was an event, bro. We went out to dinner. Me and my boys. I think we went to this place, this little cafe in Warren, expensive joint. But man, we didn't care at the time. We went in there, man. We had wine. We had dinners, appetizers. We were smoking cigars after dinner. We were puffing joints with the cigars. Even the dude who owned it could do it, but he didn't give a fuck. I can't even remember the price, but we did it 5-star that night, and then we went back to one of the bros' house and watched this fight. No, bro, I ain't no boxing historian. I'm lucky enough to be alive today to remember these things, and that's all. That's all, man. Anybody who had a passion for this sport, who has it today, you guys, you be doing this stuff in 20. How long ago? How many years ago was this fight, dude? Was this 40, almost 50? Oh! Look at that fucking left hook by Gomez. After the beating that he's in, he's still got a little bit of power in those fists. And Sanchez knows that. Sanchez is on his bicycle. Gomez is going for broke here. They say a wounded animal is the most dangerous. And Wilfredo Gomez is a wounded animal. But bro, man, I'm fortunate enough to remember these things. And dude, I can't remember the fights we saw last weekend. The Tank and what was the dude's name? Cruz or Gomez? Garcia. I have a tough time remembering those things, man. Where these things, it's funny. I can remember these like I can remember the undercards. I can remember the fights of the fucking cornermen, the referees. It's weird, bro. Maybe I'm more of a relic than a historian. But once in a while, we get a chance to dust off our brain cells and we watch a fight like this, bro. Because this was, we watched some of Salvador Sanchez. And, boxing is, it's a sport that moves on. Life is stronger than death. Salvador Sanchez, all these fights that he had when he was defending his title, they were hard fights. And like I said earlier, man, he said that he was not going to stick around boxing forever. He wanted a couple of more big fights. Like I said, Alexis Aguayo was on his agenda, and he had that rematch with Juan Laporte. But unfortunately, that was it, man. We'll check out the end of Wilfredo Gomez over here, and then I want to show you the last fight that he had, man. That was with like I said, man, when one, it's hail to the king, and the king is dead, long live the king, and that's just the way it was with that's the way it is in boxing. Salvador Sanchez was out, and boxing continued. Azuma Nelson became a superstar. Hey, Nick, my brother. Man, anybody out there who wants to see some real historic fights, and this guy knows a lot more than I do, man. I'm just a fucking... He humbles me, some of the stuff that I see him typing, but I want to get him up here so we can talk some boxing. He's got a library of fights that you would not believe. He puts them out daily out there, man. So, man, Nick, drop your link in here, bro. Go sub to Nick M's Classic Boxing channel. He lets me put fights up there. I didn't do it today, Nick. I didn't go over and check it. You probably got these fights up. I wouldn't have to worry about it. So I went and took a chance. But bro, it's a pleasure to have you in here because you are definitely you are definitely more deserving of the title historian. But like I said, man, Salvador Sanchez, he lived fast. He lived hard. He died hard and fast too, man. Running his Porsche into 2 trucks. Oh, okay, bro. I'm retired, Nick, so I can work that out, man. You gotta send me an email and we'll work a time out because I can do it during the day, so it's more your time, bro. I got no problem with that, and we can show some of your fights, and you can tell us a little more about the mysterious Nick M, bro. Because I remember you did a couple of lives, but they were real quick, and I know you got a lot to talk about, bro. So it's Bruce Goes at gmail.com. Remember to use it's ITS. Bruce Goes, not gas, goes. GOES. Let me get that music back in the back here, man. I got the free stuff I use on with the YouTube library here. Do we want to continue? Yes, we do want to continue. There we go. And this other one, I'll get it back to the beginning over here, man. Okay, just some background stuff. Oh, look at. I gotta play that again here, man. I had my eyes off that for a second. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go back a little bit on that one. There we go, man. And watch that again. And if you notice, man, Sanchez is on his back foot. He spins around. He gets off the rope. Boom, body. 3 left hooks to the body. 150. Salute my brother. Yeah, Nick, man. I definitely would like to talk to you on here, bro. We can introduce some of these people to some of that great stuff you got over there. Talk about some of those great fights, man. But here we go, man. Salvador Sanchez has got he's the shark. He smells blood in the water right here, man. And Wilfredo Gomez is tough. Just keeps coming forward. But there he goes, man. Boom, boom. Oh. 7, 8-piece punch, 8-piece combination. Pretty much knocked him off his feet, into the ropes, down. Wilfredo Gomez, he's up at the count of 8. Referee Carlos Padilla says, no, you're done. He's got broken bones in that face. I mean, that was a thorough beating right there, man. And that was very surprising. That surprised a lot of people. I really didn't know who was going to win this fight. I kind of thought Sanchez was, strictly because of the fact that a good big man beats a good little man. But Wilfredo Gomez, man, he was knocking everybody out. But Sanchez just had something special about him, man. He had that something special. And after that, man, he had that fight with Pat Cordell. The man from the UK, split decision. Somebody from there was telling me that they got a statue up for Pat Cordell. Andre McCullough, salute, bro. How you doing, man? A fight with the durable Rocky Garcia. That was for the WBC Featherweight Championship, which he kept. And then there was that great fight, man. It was the last fight of his career. Let's see if we can dig this up, man. See if we have the I'll have a little bit of a prelude to this fight here too, man. You gotta remember, Azuma Nelson is 13-0, and he's coming on. He's moving up in weight, and he's taking on the greatest featherweight in the world over here, man. So, man, we're gonna see Azuma Nelson. We're gonna see the final fight of Salvador Sanchez. That was fighting as the young, nobody who'd ever heard of Azuma Nelson. You get this Gotta get my screen sharing capabilities up here for this fight. That should work. There we go, man. There we go. And here we go, man. We'll put this on. And there he is, man. Once again, in his last professional fight. And we've got Tony Perez as the referee. We're in Madison Square Garden. We were just talking about this. Nick, I had Leon Muhammad on here earlier, bro. And I mean, the dude needs no introduction. I had him on the phone and we couldn't get a good connection. That's why, you know, with the StreamYard, when you and I do it, we'll see. When I was on here with Miles Bailey the other night, we practiced a little bit in the afternoon. We got the StreamYard thing going. So I couldn't get a good connection with Leon, bro. And I talked to him a lot now, you know, not a lot, but I only met him a week ago, but I've been talking to him about 3 or 4 times since then. And man, you know, like I said, anybody out there, you just Google Leon Mohammed and you can see the, you know, the contribution that he's had to boxing. Great stuff. And right here, man, we're watching Salvador Sanchez. Undefeated WBC Featherweight champ of the world. 44-1-1. 32 knockouts. Taking on Azuma Nelson. 13-0. And this was, like I said, man, this was almost the beginning. Well, it was not even like almost the beginning of one era and the end of another. Nah, Nick, you couldn't understand it. It was, you know, I had the phone here and I tried it earlier with my wife calling me up, and it kind of went through. But then, you know, getting a call from outside a 90-mile radius or whatever. But I'm going to get him on here. We're going to get much better transmission. See, this one thing, you know, we were talking the other day on how to get, you know, how to help boxers who are down on their luck, and you know they don't have the pension, they don't have this. Man, I had this idea, and I want to bring it up, and I just thought of it, bro. If we can get these guys internet access, bro, get them laptops, so because I'm sure we can get Wi-Fi. The government's giving everybody Wi-Fi now, but if we can get these guys, he'd be 64 today, Big Say So. So he was younger than I am, man. That's why I watched this guy, man. I used to say this kid from Mexico, and Azuma Nelson, even younger. But yeah, man. You know, we can't start pensions for these guys. We can't give them all money out of our pockets, but maybe we can get them laptops so they can do their shows, and we can, you know that old saying, instead of giving a man a fish, you teach him how to fish. I gotta bring that up with my boy Brian, because he works for a company and they're always upgrading, a big company, you know, a Fortune 500 company, and they're always upgrading their software, and so they clean out the laptops and they get rid of them. They give them to the people to take home or whatever, and they, you know, if we can get these to the boxers to use, to start their own YouTube channels, to show their fights, to talk about it, man. I gotta bring this idea up before I forget it, man. What do you think? Does that sound like a pretty good idea to any of you cats, man? Because you know how many boxers I've talked to in the last 6 months who would love to get on and do a show, but they can't do it. They only got their government phone, and they don't know how to, you know, they don't know how to do a StreamYard and stuff, bro. Oh, they're definitely not doing so well, Nick. I got a text the other day, and he sent me a picture of Maurice Blanca. He's living in New York City. He's living in his car. He's homeless, bro. Maurice Blanca. You know, and that's only one of them. There's just so many stories out there. You know, you just would not believe it. You know, I was talking to Leon today, and he was just telling me the way he's living, you know. Hand to mouth, bro. You know, it's a sad thing. And like I said, I think if these guys could let their plight be known, get their internet channels, get the super chats, whatever it takes, man. I mean, dude, they're not asking for $1 million. They're just asking for enough to go get some Chinese. You know, maybe get a Domino's pizza. Bro, you know, and to hear the stories that they have to offer, that's definitely worth a fucking $500 laptop. You know? So, man, maybe we can get something like that going where people could donate their fucking, you know, donate their what do they call hardware, or, you know, maybe their electronic donations. We could send them to these guys, programmed up, ready to go. And see, my idea was to get somebody from their area that can go down there and hook up with these guys and get them, you know, actually put the hands on, hook them up to YouTube, Get them so they can come on the shows. You know? Oh yeah, bro. He beat Starling, and he don't. How many people beat Starling? Donald Curry, both disputed. Man, you know? Yeah, and Starling's another one. I talk to Starling a lot too, bro. And Starling is gonna get. I think I think he's in the process of getting a laptop. I think my buddy, like I said, who works for the Fortune 500 company, is going to get Starling a laptop because that's what these cats need. They need a way to get out there and let their story be known. And everybody's on YouTube now, man. We know I don't even have cable TV anymore. We stopped paying for that months ago. You know, we can get almost anything we want on the internet. News, the local news, the traffic, whatever we had, whatever we used to watch. And then YouTube's pretty much got everything on there. All the boxing, the movies. I've got all these pay-per-view channels and everything else that I can access. No. Riddick Bowe's actually doing better, Nick. I met Riddick Bowe a few months ago. Riddick Bowe's not doing bad, man. He's gotten it together. You know, all he needed was nutrition, physical therapy, psychological therapy. Riddick Bowe's doing pretty good, man. Let me see if I can find my Riddick Bowe picture to show you. Nah, get down from there. Let's see. Yeah, these phones, they fuck you up. Is this the, no, that's not what I want. Let me see if I can find this because this is, there it is, the drive. See, I gotta get used to these damn things. But yeah, man, I met Riddick Bowe. He's a hot shit, man. I had a good old time with Riddick Bowe. Now that's what I want. I want to drive. I went to this thing not too long ago. I talked about it before. I don't want to bore anybody about it, but Riddick was there, and he was looking good, man. He's got the sharp mind. Humorous. Come on. Where is my Riddick Bowe picture? It's probably in my other phone, but anyway, I got a picture of me and Riddick Bowe there, and he's doing good. I almost had him on my show a couple weeks ago. Once again, we had internet problems. We didn't get the thing right. The guy was calling me up, and I found out there's this phone. If you're on your phone, you can't get on StreamYard. It's weird. I'm learning. But anyway, I had Jonathan Felton. That's Riddick Bowe's sparring partner. And Jonathan's, you can check out his box rec, bro. He fought almost everybody, but he was a sparring partner of Mike Tyson and Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield, and everybody knows Jonathan, and he hangs out with Riddick Bowe. He told me he made a lot of money sparring with him. Definitely look him up, bro. Jonathan Felton. He's on Facebook too, and I talk to him once in a while too. I met him down at the Legends weekend, and he's hanging with Riddick. They just went to the tank fight, and oh fuck, man, in Washington D.C. Jonathan lives in D.C. He lives down in the D.C. area, North Carolina, somewhere down there. I can't remember exactly where, but yeah, man, Big Daddy Bowe's going out. He's doing he's speaking, doing public speaking. I want to get him on my show, but I think he told somebody he was charging. And I only met him one time, and it was funny, bro. I'm talking to Big Daddy, and he says, I'm nervous. I called him Riddick. I ran Barkley on in front of me over here, and I got Riddick Bowe, fucking big as a fucking house, standing up there looking down on me like. And I said, and I said, I got the blade over here, and I got Riddick Blow, and he says, Riddick Blow. He goes, I like that, man. And he's fucking laughing, and oh man. And oh, great guy. And I know if I talked to him, I should have got his number because I got a lot of numbers when I saw these guys. It was a real informal affair that I was at, and Riddick Bowe, he loves doing this shit, man. But I think he's charging. I think Jonathan's charging for it. I gotta talk to Jonathan, get him on here. Oh, bro, it's good shit. And Riddick Bowe, he remembered me, believe me. You know, we spent a good half hour, 45 minutes together, and big, sharp. He's still got his marbles, man. People say, "Hey Jeff, how you doing, my brother?" You know, people say he's punch drunk, slurring his words. Nah. Don't you believe it, man? Me and Riddick, we were right there, bro. Mad Chad, he took the pictures. But yeah, man. That's why I love this stuff. That's why I love hooking up with these guys. So I want to get Leon on here. I want to talk to Nick M with the classic boxing stuff, man. You know, this is what, you know, today most of this stuff bores the hell out of me, bro. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I look forward to the fights because I love combat. I love watching boxing. 13-0, Azuma Nelson. This is why, you know, the word was that Sanchez, he just didn't have it in his heart anymore. It was hard. It was way too hard. He was at the right time. They made millions of dollars for these fights, man. His fight with Wilfredo Gomez. You know, even these fights, these were HBO fights when HBO was giving out a lot of money. Very popular. This might have, I don't know if this was pay-per-view or not. I can't remember. Might have been a Don King pay-per-view card. Don King was the man. Oh, Azuma Nelson, a nice short uppercut on the inside. Salvador Sanchez was not expecting a tiger like this, man. The Professor. Guyana. Here we go, man. 5th round. Salvador Sanchez, man. 64 years old today. So if nothing, man, we're going to wish him a happy birthday. And we're going to watch him in his last fight. We watched the first fight that I saw with him and Little Red Lopez. And now the last fight. But yeah, Nick, my on the air talking with Leon was earlier in the show. So I'm going to go back and listen to it. If it's all fucked up, I'm just going to take the show down. But maybe just to honor the late great Salvador Sanchez on his birthday, maybe I'll leave it up. My friends the computer guys, I gotta have them show me how to edit stuff in and out of these lives because I've had different things where I copyright something and I want to take it out. And I still want to keep this in there. You know how it is, man. I gotta learn how to edit. I guess as we go along, we'll learn. It's not hard, man. Any idiot can do it, so this idiot can. Just gotta pay attention to these cats. Doing just a quick time check. Almost 10 p.m. here. We're watching the great Salvador Sanchez. The last fight that he had against a tough son of a bitch, man. Azuma Nelson. I mean, Azuma Nelson. Check out Azuma Nelson's record, man. Let's even start with this fight, man. Let's start with the Salvador Sanchez fight. You know, he lost his fight. He went out and fought Irving Mitchell. And then you catch, remember Irving Mitchell, man? TKO'd him. I'm looking at a couple of these other names. Alberto Collazo. Wilfredo Gomez. Knocked out Wilfredo Gomez in the 11th round. And that was for the WBC World Featherweight title. Spacesuit, salute. How you doing, bro? He went and he fought Pat Cordell, man. Who gave Salvador Sanchez the split decision loss, knocked him out in the first round. Majority decision, Marcos Villasana. And these are all names. If you were around back in the 80s, you'd know these cats. Fought Marcos Villasana again, beat him by unanimous decision. Mario Martinez beat him by split decision. He won the. He must have got stripped of the WBC featherweight title because he had to. This was for the vacant WBC featherweight title. Took on a 25-1 Lupe Suarez. Another undefeated fighter, Sindel Dairevo. Took on Mario Martinez again. Knocked him out in the 12th round. I remember that fight, very exciting. Beat Jim McDonald. Then he fought Pernell Whitaker, the great Sweet Pea. Couldn't beat Sweet Pea, lost a unanimous decision. It was a tough fight though, man. It was not a cakewalk. Beat Juan Laporte for the super featherweight title. Had a draw with Jeff Fennick. I remember watching that fight, man. It was from Las Vegas, the Mirage Hotel. Jeff Fennick beat him. He was lucky he was awarded a draw. But he went back. There was a rematch after that. Don King, man. Don King put these tremendous cards on. And Don King put this rematch on right away. He had this one card. It was called Rematch or Revenge. There were four fights on the card. It was Terry Norris and Julian Jackson, I think, and Mike Tyson and was that the Chavez and Frankie Randall? Man, I want to say Tyson and Ruddock, but I don't think it was. I don't think that fight was on the card. But it was called Revenge or Repeat, and it was rematches. And Jeff Fennick got his ass kicked by Azuma Nelson, man. Knocked him out in the 8th round. Beat Calvin Silky Goat Grove. Gabriel Ruales. Draw with Jesse James Leha. He lost the rematch. That might have been on the card. That might have been another one of Don King's cards, man. He fought Jesse James Leha in September of '93. He fought him again in a rematch, but it wasn't. They took a little time off then. It wasn't until May of '94, and he beat Gabriel Ruales for the WBC super featherweight title. Beat Jesse James Leha for the title. Gennaro Chicanito Hernandez. He lost the title. Remember, that was Floyd's first title. That same title, man. And he beat Gennaro Chicanito Hernandez. He went on and he fought Jesse James Leha in a match. He started losing fights now. Lost to Jeff Fennick, and he ended his career on 3 losses. But, we are definitely not here to celebrate Azuma Nelson's career. We're here to celebrate the great Salvador Sanchez, man. I had the pleasure of seeing this cat going through these fights, man. And this was the last fight of his career. 23 years old, man. 23 years old. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, my friends. Oh, knocked fucking Nelson back with a left hook, and now Salvador Sanchez is going in for the finish. Doctor Nick. Salvador Sanchez is down. Beautiful stuff. Look at Azuma Nelson getting up from that knockdown and coming back, throwing combinations. Bro, where have all the fighters gone? Oh, first ballot Hall of Fame, both of these guys, man. Great stuff we're seeing here. Oh, look at this shit, man. And we're only in the 7th round once again. Just such spectacular fights, man. I think Salvador Sanchez says, "Uh-oh, I'm not going to get this kid out right now. I better get back to picking him off one chip at a time here." Flick it out, flickering jab, circling to his right, man. He's trying to get Azuma Nelson to commit himself, but Azuma Nelson, look at that Ali shuffle. Wow, look at, I never noticed that before. Azuma Nelson coming forward. And Salvador Sanchez, what great footwork he has too. You're gonna say, oh yeah, you're gonna show me the Ali shuffle? Watch these feet, baby. Always moving around. Yeah, I watched that Don King card. Yeah, I think that was the only good fight on the card, if I can remember correctly. See, I'm so bad with names, Peter, but yeah, I watched that whole card, man, and there was a good card on it. There was also a kid from Pennsylvania. Brian, I can't think of his fucking last name, man. I'm so bad with names. But I think that was the good. I think it was the upset on there, wasn't it? Wasn't it the Castro was a veteran and Green was undefeated or one defeat. But yeah, dude. I think I the names I can't remember, but the fight. If it was that fight on the Don King card, that was definitely the highlight of the show. Oh, look at that! Look at Azuma Nelson go down hard. Was that a left hook that knocked him down? Oh. There we go. Here we go, man. The beginning of the 8th round in this 15 round. Yeah, I said that right. 15 rounds. No 12 round stuff, man. World Championships fights were 15 rounds back in the day. Oh, and once again, Nelson gets shaken up, a little unsteady on his feet. Salvador Sanchez, he's just stepping back a little bit. He's saying, wait a minute here, man. I got a cyclone in front of me. Seems like every time I heard him, he just opens up over here, man. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, I kind of let my fire go out already tonight. I'll be using the old fire up. Let that furnace kick in. Haven't used much heat up this year, man. In fact, it was 50 when I got up this morning, man. It was like balmy out there almost. Crazy winter we're having. Crazy way the world is now, man. I'll tell you. I do not envy you young people having to deal with this crazy world the way it's happening around here, man. I don't know how it can stay. It's like you're seeing a lot of shit just being unstable. A lot of trees. You know, a lot of things that seem permanent. I'm talking about things in nature. But they're on shaky ground, man. The trees were budding last week. And now next week it'll be 0, you know? But here we go, man. We're watching Salvador Sanchez. How old was Azuma Nelson in this fight? How old was Azuma Nelson in the first Salvador Sanchez fight?
According to MartialBot.com, Nelson had his first world title fight at the age of 24 on July 21st, 1982, after 13 professional fights against Salvador Sanchez for the
Thank you.
WBC and the ring titles.
So we can see, man, he was 24. He was older than Salvador Sanchez. I didn't know that. And Salvador Sanchez is fighting an older man in Azuma Nelson whose career just flourished after this fight. This is his 14th pro fight. Crazy stuff over here, man. Crazy ass shit, bro. Tony Perez, third man in the ring here. A little guitar in the background to get us through the rest of this fight, man. On what would have been the 64th birthday. Oh, look at him, man. Look at that face. Never changed that expression either. Even when he was smiling, he just always had that intensity on his face, man. There we go, man. The Don King fighter. Was that Giacchetti? I'm not sure. Who's in his corner? Who's in the corner of Azuma Nelson? Mr. Nick, my brother. You know who's in the corner of Nick M? Who's in the corner of Salvador Sanchez? I'm sorry. Who's in the corner of Azuma Nelson? And they're almost on even terms again, back in the ring. This was a close fight, man. And I don't think Azuma Nelson, I don't think Salvador Sanchez would have it any other way. He was never in an easy fight, man. Brother Ram Ranch, salute to you, man. Thank you for coming by. Don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate that. I appreciate the view. We're watching the final fight of a man who's celebrating up in heaven his 64th birthday, and that's Salvador Sanchez. We watched a couple of his fights earlier. And now we're watching the finale, man, of that great career. Some people say Mount Rushmore. You know, to me, there's too much of a what if, too much of a question mark. What he could have been, because he left us at 23, in his prime, man, and he was already in some wars. You know, I would have loved to have seen a longer career for Salvador Sanchez. And I don't know if I can put him on that Mount Rushmore yet. I don't know if I ever can, man. You know, he was a great fighter, but I don't know if I can put him on that Mount Rushmore. They're still fighting on the inside, on the outside. Azuma Nelson keeping those hands up, leading with those forearms. And Salvador Sanchez, beautiful, like I said, perpetual fluid motion, just shooting out that jab, always on his toes, dancing in and out. As soon as he gets in the ropes, he either gets down and gets ready to go to the body or gets away from the ropes. I mean, he knows exactly where he is at all times in that ring. This is just great boxing, man. You just don't see Salvador Sanchez anymore, bro. Look at Azuma Nelson, the professor. I mean, this is great stuff. Nobody knew how great Azuma Nelson was going to be. We knew how great Salvador Sanchez was, but there was still that question mark. The what if Azuma Nelson goes back to the wrong corner? Is that Georgie Francis in this corner? I don't know, but I know one thing, man. Both of these corners, they know that their fighters are in a serious fight over here. A little slow motion. Let's see what we're gonna see here. Boom, Azuma Nelson, those beautiful body shots. Oh, Sanchez with that left hook. Fucking check, left hook, bang. Great stuff here. Great stuff on the anniversary of the day of the born day of Salvador Sanchez. Forever young, forever 23. I just heard my dog shaking himself up out there. That means he's going to come out and bug me in a second to put him out, but I can hold him off for a little bit. I can watch the end of this fight out of respect to the late great. Yeah, man, we're watching them. They're both still in offensive positions, both coming forward. Salvador Sanchez has got a classic style. Zuma Nelson, he's another one. He's got a great style where he leads forward, always going behind a jab and an overhand right, comes back with a big left hook. I mean, classic. Both of these guys are true professionals. This was just a great fight, man. And Sanchez, man, I mean, they talk about the Mexican-style boxer. He had the chin. He'd get in there with you, but yet he had the fluidity that some say the Mexican boxers lack. But Salvador Sanchez, he did not. That there was no question of his boxing skills, and of his fluidity, of his footwork. You know, you put him up against somebody like Rafael Bazooka Limon or Jose Pepino Cuevas. You know, the fighters where they almost they mold a classic Mexican fighter after, back in the old day. Salvador Sanchez, he had all bases covered, bro. He'll slug with you, he'll box with you, and he's got the beginnings of the professor in front of him, man. Azuma Nelson. I mean, this is this is the way boxing was. You know, somebody was pointing out to me the other day. In fact, there was a thing floating around YouTube. It was the weigh-in for the rematch of Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton, and they actually had it on Johnny Carson. It wasn't the actual weigh-in, but it was the day before or a couple of hours before, and Ken Norton and Muhammad Ali, and it was on national TV. It was on the Johnny Carson show. And if you got to understand how big the Johnny Carson show was back then. We only had 3 channels. It was only ABC, CBS, and NBC. And at night, 11:30, everybody watched the Johnny Carson show. It was either that or you read a book, basically. I mean, dude, that was it. There was no internet, man. There was the 3 channels, and in Johnny Carson, that was the place to be. Muhammad Ali and Ken Norton. Google that. It's real cool to watch. But that's how big boxing was. This is a weigh-in, and the whole country knew about it. Like I said, man. When I saw Salvador Sanchez and Azuma and Wilfredo Gomez, it was an event. Hey, my brother Reggie Owens, how you doing, man? Good to see you here, man. We're here celebrating the birthday of Salvador Sanchez. He would have been 64 years old today, and he's in his last fight right here, man. Oh, look at that beautiful, beautiful combination. Azuma Nelson doing a lot of dancing, man. Salvador Sanchez, he's got that consummate jab. But man, these are 2 great boxers. Both of these guys, like I said, man, they were both first ballot Hall of Famers. This is just unprecedented. Azuma Nelson in his 13th pro fight. Salvador Sanchez in his last fight. So, we're seeing maybe the proverbial passing of the torch, maybe. Maybe that's what we saw in this fight. But whatever it was, man, we saw a legend that fizzled out way too fast, a star that fell. You know? So many what ifs, they had plans for him. If only several fights, they were mapped out there. And he was into it. He wanted to make his money, and he wanted to get out, and he wanted to go to medical school, become a doctor. You know, he was no fool. He knew the 23 years old, and he was fighting since he was a kid. He was fighting since he was 8 years old. He knew the beatings, the toll it took on your body. And these guys, they didn't fight once a year, twice a year, man. Are you shitting me? 4 or 5 times was the norm. And that's for a high caliber professional. This last year he fought 4 times. I mean, just stuff that we just don't see, never mind expect out of boxers today. Because after living through this era, bro, these guys today are not even in the same herd. It's a whole different species. They're more. They spend more time in a 3-piece suit than they do in a pair of trunks in a ring, punching a heavy bag or running around, bro. It's just we see the ugly side of business more than we do the beautiful side of boxing. And this is why I honor these fucking warriors, man. Salvador Sanchez. Tony Perez breaks him up, man. Going back to their corners. What can you tell Salvador Sanchez, man? No panic in this corner. Consummate professional. 23 years old. He's already got 45 fights under his belt. He's got plans for some big fights after this, but he didn't have plans to run that Porsche into a couple of trucks, man. He was a crazy kid, man. He was out looking for his senoritas when he should have been training. He should have been sleeping. My brother Reggie Owens out there, man. Watching some classic stuff over here, Reg. watching it on his birthday of all days, man. I had to do it, bro. You know, if I can get a half dozen people to watch this, man, just make them aware of what a great fighter. And check out Blood Boxing, man. Blood Boxing did a documentary on Salvador Sanchez, and it's definitely worth watching. If you can't watch the whole thing at one time, watch an hour now, watch an hour tomorrow, and watch an hour the next day, because it's well worth it. It's worth the retention, what you'll see there. You'll become a better boxing fan because of it. Mr. Doc, another one. Mr. Doc knows all this shit. He was watching Azuma Nelson and Salvador Sanchez. And the other channels have been showing this tonight, man. They got the word. This is a celebration day. This is bigger than Cinco de Mayo for some people, bro. So this should be a national holiday in Mexico, man. Salvador Sanchez Day. General Reno, wasn't he one of Custer's fucking generals? One of those baby killing, boot stomping fucking Yankees. I think he was, Doc. But man, getting back to reality here, man. Here we go, man. We're in the final fight of Salvador Sanchez against a tough, up-and-coming, older than he is, Azuma Nelson. Azuma's 24, Salvador's 23. Just great stuff here, man. Great stuff. He was right back in the gym training for another fight after this one, man. So there really was no time off. I know the name of that coward rings a bell somewhere in my head, Doc. Oh! Salvador, was that a knockdown? That looked like a slip, and then Salvador tried to nail him while he was slipping there. That's not going to be considered a knockdown. It looked like his knee might have touched the canvas. I don't know, but man, I'll tell you, these two guys, they're going at it like a couple of pit bulls in this ring here, man. Beautiful scientific boxing, brutal slugging. I mean, this is great stuff. Whew. The end of the round. Wow. WBC Featherweight Championship, which will be won by Azuma Nelson. Not tonight, man. Not tonight. Killer stuff here, man. Really, man. I love winding down watching a great fight like this, man. Instead of watching, I'll probably go trolling once I close down here, man. It's only 10:30. I don't usually conk out till about 1. I'll probably go listen to a few crazy channels going back and forth, and maybe even get into a little bit of it myself. But how can you go wrong when you're watching classic fights like this, man, you know? Especially with my brothers and my sisters out there. And my Toka 2 over here. My Agua. Things are looking good, man. My wife's probably sleeping like a baby. We made this tincture tonight, and I know she did her dose. And she was happy as the proverbial pig in shit. She knew there was enough for the next couple of weeks to get her through her beautiful day. Man, you thought I was gonna say miserable day, didn't you? No. My wife has a beautiful day, like I do. Time for another hit on the Toka 2 as we watch this great fight unfold here, man. Azuma Nelson, he's already been down once. He's going against the WBC Featherweight Champion, Salvador Sanchez. Beautiful fighter. Look at his head move. Look at that head movement. He just got out of the way of 3 overhand rights there. He comes back with a 1-2 of his own. Pigeon, you funny bastard. Sometimes, man, sometimes you can be very clever. And look at Sanchez against the ropes, but yet he's not defenseless against the ropes. It's almost like he's resting his ass on the middle rope and just shooting for that body when he's against the ropes. He knows he doesn't have to worry about anything coming at him from the sides. Hey, Hyphy, bro, how you doing, man? 2 weeks notice, bro. I don't know, but I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure that could be found in a Google here, man. Toe to toe in the ring, man. Azuma Nelson not taking a step backwards. And Hyphy said he took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. That's what they did in those days, man. That's and look what became of him. He got an L. Yeah, big deal. He got one L. He had 13 wins and he got an L. Did that break him or did that make him, man? See, this is what boxers today do not understand. This is how you make your bones. You get in there with a champion. You know? You test your mettle. You go back to the gym. Fucking Azuma went to the Hall of Fame after the L, bro. And here we go, man. Celebrating his birthday. I should have asked the old lady to make me some cake or something, man. I'm hungry now. I got the munchies, but nah. Can't do it. In fact, I'm a kind of a mental mission to lose a little bit of weight. I know since I had the COVID a couple of months ago, I noticed I noticed my clothes are a little tighter. I don't feel fatter or anything. I just maybe the clothes are shrinking a little bit, but then maybe I should shrink a little bit too. But here we go. We're back in the ring, and we're watching Azuma Nelson, Salvador Sanchez in the center ring. Both of them straight up exchanging punches. Azuma keeping the forearms up a little bit, a little higher guard there. But Sanchez, man, he just knows how to move. He's so smooth. Gets out of the way of those punches. Oh, nice and Azuma gets tagged and he comes right back, man. What a solid fighter. Both of these guys. Now Azuma's got Sanchez against the ropes, crowding him, but Sanchez just pushes off, constantly moving. Just both of these guys have very effective strategies. Azuma Nelson moving forward, man. Sanchez, he can actually punch on his heels, man, but yet he refuses to budge an inch, man, and he's just firing back. Short hooks, uppercuts. Oh, beautiful left hook to the body. That one looked like it hurt. 86 boxing, my friend. How you doing, brother? Glad you can make it, bro. I've been on here for a little longer than I usually am. But just honored to celebrate what would have been the 64th birthday. What it actually is, man, of 23-year-old, forever young, fucking Salvador Sanchez. I'm so excited over here, man. I'm watching this fight, digging on it, bro. This is action, Jackson. This is the way boxing should be, was, and maybe someday will be. Who knows, man? We're not seeing action like this today. I don't know, bro. I'm sorry. Maybe you're watching something that I'm not watching, man. A stacked card is what? Stacked on the left side? Yeah, this is very even, Pigeon. This is a fucking close fight, man. We are in the 14th round, man. Unfortunately, the judges' scorecards aren't going to be necessary. And that's it, man. Tony Perez breaking those fighters up, man. Oh, I want to do another hit, man. I'm getting into this. Getting into the water. I think the edible, the tincture I did it at 8 o'clock. I think two and a half hours. I think it's like just about peaking right now. I'm feeling really good. And Salvador Nelson crowds him on the ropes, man. And we're in the last round here. Oh, he gets hurt by an overhand right by Sanchez. Gets hurt again. Salvador Sanchez non-stop. Azuma Nelson's moving backwards. Salvador Sanchez knows he's hurt. He's going in for the kill. Downstairs. Banging the body. Hitting the liver. Azuma Nelson's moving forward on unsteady legs here, man. Salvador Sanchez looks like he's looking for that hot spot, man. Azuma's still keeping his guard up. He's still biting down. Moving forward. Sanchez just lands a nice hook, overhand right. Man, you gotta give Azuma Nelson credit. Oh, that right hand straightening him right out. Down he goes in the 15th round, but he's right back on his feet. Unbelievable. Azuma Nelson will not stay down. Taking the mandatory 8 on his feet. They're back in the ring. They're back fighting. And there they go once again. Oh. That's it. Referee stops the fight. The final fight of his career, man. Salvador Sanchez. I'll probably show that again. Let's watch that before we kill this broadcast here, man. Let's watch that final. That final combination by Salvador Sanchez. The ring is crowded over here, man. You just saw a great fight, unexpected. Yeah, that is Richie Giacchetti in there, man. No, it's not. I'm sorry, man. That's Sanchez's corner. Here we go, man. Boom! Left hook. Combination. I think it was a left hook. And then another combination was a delayed knockdown. Let's see it again. Bang! The left hook. Overhand right. I think the left hook got him. Oh, man. Great stuff. Don King raises his hand. That's Don King's meal ticket there, man. Don King's got some big fights lined up. The fights never happened, man. They never happened. We saw Salvador Sanchez, man. Just a great all-around fighter. Some great stuff. Listen to a little bit of jazz. Leon Mohammed was on for a little bit on the phone. I'm going to get him back again. I'm going to figure out a way to get these guys. And that's my thing, man. We got to get laptops for fighters. That's going to be my cause, man. It hit me like a bolt of lightning. I'm going to make some calls on it now. We're going to get that going through here, man. And that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to get these guys so they can communicate with us. So we can get clear, crisp transmissions. They can get their own channels. We can let their situations be known. And And man, maybe they can get some good shit going on in this boxing community here. We can all reach out to them a little bit at a time. So guys and gals, man, I appreciate you coming in here, man. This was a special I put on tonight. This was to honor my memories of, not to honor my memories, I'm sorry, to honor the memory of Salvador Sanchez on his birthday, and to share some of the memories I have, the fights I saw, and the good times I had, man. So thank you all for coming in here. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. I appreciate you giving me a like. I appreciate the view. We'll see you again soon, man. Salute and peace.